into the parking lot and started going to the mall, another car pulled up. Had 4 teenagers in it. We walked through the double doors. These guys followed us right behind us. We started to go up to the elevator and go up to the second tier. Jason turns around and sees that they're staring at us. Now, I don't know how it is down here in Jeff City, but when somebody mugs you, you mug them right back. And that's what Jason did. And I seen that Jason was getting disturbed. I seen that Jason's anger was coming out. I told him, hey man, just let it go. It really ain't worth it. I don't tell people that at this time. But that day, I wanted something different. That day, I wanted to get my GED, or at least sign up for it. And he was about to ruin it. He couldn't let it go. As soon as we got into the middle of the mall, he turned around and confronted him. Big argument started. It was so loud that people was walking by staring. There was people inside the department stores. One lady even picked up the phone and called security. Security guards came running after us, about 5 or 6 of them. When they got down there to us, they broke us up and told us we're kicked off the property. So you need to leave now. At the same time, I got a pistol on my back, a .380. So I'm not even tripping. But at the same time, I'm not even getting into it. Because it ain't my beef. As long as it's one-on-one, it's cool. I'm not even tripping on it. We get kicked out, go to my car, drive out. These guys, they got dropped off. So after that, they crossed the parking lot to the northwest corner, which was a shortcut under the Blue Ridge Mall banner out there. I turn right and go down Sterling. As I'm about to go down Sterling, they come up where that sign's at and start to go down the hill. Jason sees them. Say, hey man, stop the car, stop the car. I don't want to stop the car. Yeah, let me stop the car. I pull over. Now, they're on a hill about 50 feet away at a 45-degree angle. I can't even really see them. They keep reaching under their shirts like they got a pistol. So Jason grabs my gun and holds it up and shows it to them. That didn't scare them. They started yelling and screaming. Jason's yelling and screaming right back. Now that we're outside, the other guys want to be vocal. They want to yell and get their rocks off. So they're screaming and hollering. I'm still staying neutral. I'm still staying out of it. All I want to do is get home. I just want to get this over with. Finally, I look over to Jason. I said, listen, man, I'm out of here. This don't make any sense. We're in a car. They're walking. Why are we arguing with these dudes? If they wanted to fight, we would have been fighting inside the mall. They ain't talking about anything. I'm gone. As soon as I stepped on the gas, bam! One of them threw a brick in my car. I snapped. I grabbed the pistol, started shooting out the window. I was arrested about 3 minutes later. As soon as I get downtown, they put me in front of the detective. And all I could think about was what happened. Because I had an anger problem. I had an anger problem so bad that I had rage. And when I had rage, I blacked out. Didn't remember anything. So I asked him. I said, what happened? He looked over to me and said, here, sign this. Threw a paper in front of me. I signed it, pushed it right back. It was my Miranda rights. Waived all my rights right there, just like that. He said, you killed a 16-year-old boy. That crushed me. That devastated me. Because I never intended to kill anybody. I just wanted to scare him off. That's all I wanted to do was scare him off. But it didn't happen like that. A 16-year-old boy lied on the side of that hill, dead. 1 year later, they took me to trial on first-degree murder charges, just like Daryl had. Premeditated murder carries 2 things: life without or the death penalty. They exonerated me of the first degree and convicted me of second-degree murder. Just like Daryl, 3 days later, they sentenced me. 3 days after that, I was sitting in the Fulton Diagnostic Reception Center and went through the same things that he went through. As soon as I got there, 3 guards accosted me and told me to get naked. I said, man, are you crazy? I'm not getting naked for you. You're another man. I ain't never been naked in front of another man in my entire life. You think I'm going to come here and change up? No, crazy. I got naked. Let's believe that. I got naked. Later that night, I didn't get a cell. It was so overcrowded, they put me on an army cot in the middle of the wing. Here I am in a level 5 prison, in a wing, on a cot. I kept my shoes on and laid on my back, gripping a number 2 pencil. I was 17 years old at this time. One of the youngest guys inside of this place. I never held something so tight in my life. About 1 month later, 10 guards in black riot gear kidnapped me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Put me on a bus and sent me 1,200 miles away from my family and friends to a state that I knew nothing about. State of Texas. When we got down there, the guards didn't waste any time showing their disdain for us. They hated Missourians. They came in, they kicked in our wing like the DEA, ran in with dogs, stun guns, started grabbing people off the bunks, throwing them on the ground. While everybody was asleep, so it was a shock. Caught all of us off guard. They threw me on the ground, and then they made us crawl on the ground, military style, on our belly, about 100 feet. When we got out into the hallway, they lined us up like parked cars. Then the lieutenant came out there and said, "Listen, boys, you messed up. You guys are going to be charged with inciting a riot, a Class D felony, punishable up to 5 years in the state of Texas." I remember thinking to myself, I can't even see the end of the line of this 17-year sentence. How am I going to do that and then come down here and serve another 5 years? That's all I kept thinking about. Then they made us turn around, crawl on our belly, back into the wing. As soon as we got into the wing by the doorway, the guards told us to strip. I started to stand up. One put their boot in my back, kicked me back down. The other one shocked me with a stun gun. Made me strip right there on the ground. Then I had to crawl about another 20 feet, butt naked, across this cold concrete to the bunks where the mattresses were stripped. Told me to lay in that bunk on that cold, hard steel, butt naked. Now, I don't know what you guys are learning in this class. I don't know what you think. But if you're trying to find out the rationale behind children committing crimes or why people commit murder, it's going to be a difficult one. Because you can't pigeonhole people like that. There's such a wide variety of reasons why people do things that they do. When I was in prison, they said, "You don't look like a murderer." What does a murderer look like? Tell me. Because I've seen all kinds of people in there. Different backgrounds. Doesn't matter where you grew up. Different. Some had bad childhoods. Some had good childhoods. Some committed murder because they were angry. Some committed it in the heat of passion. So on and so forth. I just hope you guys got something out of my story and Daryl's. Appreciate you guys letting us come out here. Thank you for your time. I wonder